megastars, the millionaires, the masterminds. Seriously wealthy, glamorous and influential. They are the rich and famous. These are the guys that have overtaken all others on the superhighway to fast, fantastic wealth and the podium of fame. Bernard "Bernie" F1 Supremo Ecclestone, the third richest person in Britain, with an estimated fortune of a whopping $3.2 billion. Ecclestone is the president and CEO of Formula One Management and Formula One Administration. You could say he is Formula One. F1, the highest class of auto racing, is the world's most expensive sport and has attracted gladiatorial battles over its control. Its high profile and popularity make it an obvious merchandising environment, which leads to very high investments from sponsors. In short, when you play F1, you're playing with the big boys. From the very beginning, Bernie Ecclestone set out to gain supreme control. It all started in 1972, when he bought the Brabham racing team for £100,000 and ran it for 15 years. As a team owner, he became a member of the Formula One Constructors Association and gradually grew to manage the administration, setup and logistics of the sport itself. Ultimately, Ecclestone became obsessed with gaining the jewel in the crown, the sport's television rights, and eventually sold the Brabham team for over $5 million. Bernie Ecclestone, together with his mover and shaker and legal advisor Max Mosley, masterminded a cunning plan to strengthen their control of Formula One racing. They negotiated and won the television rights for the Grand Prix circuit for the next 100 years. By the way, Grand Prix is French for big prize, and this was Ecclestone's biggest prize ever. Formula One is a massive television event with millions of people watching each race in 200 countries. Ecclestone cuts up the cake by giving 47% of television revenue to teams, 30% to the Formula One organisation, and a plump 23% to the Supremo himself. It was on this broadcasting coup that Ecclestone built his empire, making him one of the richest and most powerful businessmen in the world, with a net worth of $3.2 billion. He once sold one of his London residences in Kensington Palace Gardens, never having lived in it, to a steel magnate for £57.1 million, making it the most expensive house ever sold. Despite heart surgery and a triple coronary bypass in 1999, Ecclestone has remained as energetic as always in promoting his own business interests and holding on to the control over the sport he's maintained for more than 30 years. His latest deal? Putting Bahrain on the Formula One calendar until 2013, adding the race to 17 current circuits worldwide, including the Shanghai International, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and good old Silverstone, where it all started. Although in his 70s, the billionaire is still seated firmly behind the wheel of the Formula One media machine, attributing his continued success to luck, experience, and stamina. And a ruthless mind behind a pair of trademark tinted sunglasses. Tom Cruise. Love him or hate him, he's the most powerful actor in Hollywood. Cruise is the only actor to have 7 consecutive $100 million blockbusters to his name. From the comedy drama Jerry Maguire, which coined the term "show me the money," to Stanley Kubrick's keenly anticipated last film, the erotic thriller Eyes Wide Shut. He now earns $25 million for every film role. But it's been his dual role as actor-producer on the mega-successful Mission Impossible franchise that has yielded him the fast money in quick time. The first in the franchise, in 1996, pulled in over US $450 million worldwide, making it the 3rd highest grossing film that year. Tom Cruise's share, a tidy $70 million. Cruise got back into his impossibly fast Mission Impossible car, a Bugatti Veyron for the unacquainted, for the second in the series, which grossed $330 million worldwide and filled the producer-actors' pockets to the tune of $75 million. And then it was onward and up the successful sequel highway for Mission Impossible 3, which brought in $397.9 million. How does he do it? The actor prides himself on being his own man. He says, "I don't really keep counsel with others. I've made every decision for myself, in my career, in my life." It's this singular vision that has helped Cruise produce several high-profile films with producer partner Paula Wagner, including The Others, which starred Nicole Kidman, and the surreal Vanilla Sky. Tom Cruise is noted for his forceful negotiating style and exceptional commercial prowess in the industry, scoring some of the most lucrative movie deals in Hollywood.
He's a man of honor who takes the power of his celebrity really, really seriously. And that's why we're here tonight, to pay tribute to a man who is unarguably the world's biggest movie star, but who's more importantly a committed husband, a committed father, and especially a great citizen of this world. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Cruise.
But it was Tom's overconfidence in himself that almost damaged his career. In 2006, Viacom Paramount terminated its development deal with Cruise after 14 years due to his controversial public behaviour and outspoken and unpopular views on sensitive topics like psychiatry and Scientology. Paramount cited the economic damage Cruise may have caused to his value as an actor and producer, but some say Paramount was unhappy with Cruise's exceptionally large share of DVD sales from the Mission Impossible franchise. Was his career over? No. Cruise Wagner Productions quickly found other investors to back their films, including Washington Redskins owner Daniel Snyder, who came in with a cool $100 million in revolving credit. Once rated as one of the 50 most beautiful people in the world, how's Jerry Maguire's bankability now? Fine, thanks to the public's continued fascination with his private life. And what a Tinseltown private life it is! He reportedly bought a $100,000 Italian motorbike for himself to add to his collection of 12 races. The bike was custom made for the Hollywood heavy, taking in his weight, height and riding position. Now what to get that little lady who has everything? Not more diamonds, a $20 million customised Gulfstream jet to add to his fleet of 3 jets. For this extravagance, the Top Gun was dubbed by the eco-lobby as Emissions Impossible. Katie Holmes apparently used her jet to fetch cherry cola during a late-night craving. Yeah, it sure gets thirsty in the fast lane. This story is an heroic saga, a fable worthy of Hollywood. Lance Armstrong, road racing cyclist, is the guy from Nowheresville who beat death to win the planet's toughest race through sheer force of his extraordinary will. Lance Armstrong won the Tour de France, cycling's most prestigious race, 7 consecutive times. from 1999 to 2005. And in doing so, he was named World Athlete of the Year for 5 years running. His last Tour de France win, before retiring, netted him over $480,000, but it's Armstrong's lucrative endorsements with Nike, Subaru and Trek bicycles that push his income over $28 million a year. What makes Lance Armstrong's story so inspiring is his survival from testicular cancer, a germ cell tumour that spread to his brain and lungs in 1996.
It showed me the ultrasounds and the other x-rays and said we had a problem. And of course, I just, what everybody does, I was in denial. I thought this can't be, because I'm 25 years old, I'm one of the best in my sport, and why would I have cancer?
His cancer treatments included brain and testicular surgery and extensive chemotherapy. Far from destroying him, made him stronger and faster. Lance Armstrong loves to fight, and he loves to win. And he doesn't want to win by a small margin, he wants to dominate. It's a drive that motivates him in every aspect of his life. He has been described unanimously as controlling. One of the aspects to his career he attempts to control is his image. He knows that image is so crucial to his $1 million sponsorships. One of the reasons for his phenomenal success was his insistence on integrated support from his sponsors, getting them to work as a cohesive team. Rather than having the bike frame, handlebars and tyres of a bicycle designed by separate companies, his team adopted a Formula One style relationship with Trek, Nike and Oakley, together creating a super machine for a superhuman. Well, we know Lance Armstrong looks pretty good in yellow. But pinstripes? Now that he's retired from professional cycling, Armstrong is more likely to sport a business suit than a yellow jersey. Armstrong is lending his name to the 24-hour fitness chain. In 2006, he opened number 7 of these personally backed sports clubs. That's on top of his other full-time gig as the founder and head of the Livestrong Foundation, which he founded 10 years ago to fight cancer and assist the disease's survivors. Armstrong has a strong social conscience and won't sign an endorsement deal if it doesn't benefit society or the anti-cancer movement. In 2004, Nike and Lance Armstrong teamed to create the Livestrong wristband. They've sold more than 70 million to date. And together, they have gone on to create a range of apparel, footwear and accessories for men, women and kids. With his fitness clubs and fundraising, Armstrong admits he's pretty much flunking at retirement, as he happily moves between multiple homes in different countries, including 2 ranches in his home state of Texas. So what next for the speedster, known for his great leadership? His team always referred to him as El Patron. Is it true he's thought of running for public office? You can ask him yourself. Oh, and I should tell you, he has a speaking fee above $200,000. David Blaine, illusionist and stunt performer, magician, masochist and millionaire. You didn't think there was any money in magic? Well, David Blaine has inked a deal for a series of ABC television specials, each worth $250,000. And he regularly pulls in 6 figures for an hour-long private show. Turns out he's a pretty good magician after all. In an hour, you can make all your cash disappear. He made his name as a performer of street and close-up magic, and now performs potentially life-threatening acts of endurance for the public to witness. His stunts have been greeted with mixed reaction. His audience sometimes an unwilling audience, have described him in turns as a hero and as an idiot. Frozen in Time had Blaine encased in a closet of ice for over 2 days. He was taken to the hospital immediately after being removed because doctors feared he was going into shock. In the 2002 stunt Vertigo, Blaine remained aloft a 27-metre pillar in Bryant Park, New York City, for exactly 35 hours. He ended the feat by jumping down onto a pile of cardboard boxes and suffering a concussion. What more can he endure? As a director, producer and performer of his own stunts, the answer is as limited as his warped imagination. Like to try a stint in a suspended plexiglass box over London for 44 days without food? Or 7 days and 7 nights submerged in a 2.4 metre diameter water-filled sphere in front of the Lincoln Center in New York City? Feeling nauseous yet? Reckon you can take a little more? David Blaine can. Here's Revolution, where stunned New Yorkers witness the performer shackled to a revolving gyroscope for a head-spinning 16 hours. As a professional attention getter, Blaine has attracted some lucrative endorsements, and it's money he needs to feed his extreme ideas. The US National Basketball Association uses David Blaine in a campaign to encourage viewers to the playoffs. In the ad, the magician points out the parallels between great basketball and great magic. Paradoxically, for a millionaire earning over $2 million a year, David Blaine's stunts are all about deprivation, depriving himself of food, oxygen, comfort. He says his stunts are an attempt to appreciate life by taking away everything on the edge, all the extravagances. His lifestyle does have a few extravagances though. While he lives in an unpretentious Greenwich Village apartment, he does run with the A-list crowd. He's dated Madonna, the singer-songwriter Fiona Apple, and is great mates of stars like Leonardo DiCaprio. One of his few extravagances is Houdini memorabilia. His acquisitions of his idols' posters, letters and personal belongings are valued at tens of thousands. And Blaine should be able to acquire more with the revenue of his best-selling book Mysterious Stranger. Mysterious Stranger contained intriguing clues to a treasure hunt with a $100,000 prize that the illusionist had personally put up. It was solved a full 16 months after the book was first released by a housewife from California. Watch out, Blaine. You might have to guard your spot as one of the world's richest magicians. It looks like there's someone just as tricky as you. Michael Schumacher, the Red Baron, is a 7-time Formula One world champion. He is quite simply the greatest driver the sport has ever seen, earning $650 million in salary and endorsement deals, putting him on par with superstar athletes Michael Jordan and Tiger Woods. Now retired, Schumacher was famous for his ability to produce fast laps at crucial moments in a race, to push his car to the very limit for sustained periods. And his secret weapon? He was great in the wet. Up to the end of the 2003 season, Schumacher won 17 of the 30 races in wet conditions he contested, earning him the title of the Rain King. After winning 2 championships with Benetton early in his career, Schumacher moved to Ferrari in 1996 and won 5 consecutive drivers' titles for them, single-handedly turning this once struggling team into the most successful team in Formula One history. Although seen as too ambitious and aloof to capture the heart of the average Formula fan, He was always respected for his dedication to racing. Driven by desire for perfection, he sometimes overstepped the rules, not hesitating to drive a rival off the track to secure victory. By 2005, the German was the world's first billionaire athlete. At his height, his $80 million salary was the biggest in sports, a significant share coming from advertising. It was in Germany that he won real hearts and endorsements. A German investment firm once paid him $8 million over 3 years to wear their badge on his post-race cap. Once a fringe sport, Formula One became hugely popular in Germany, with expensive VIP lounges and hundreds of thousands of fans attending racing weekends. Schumacher remained popular in Germany, even when he moved to Switzerland to avoid Germany's high taxes. A little-known aspect to the German, often seen as cold and calculating, is his charitable side. In the past 4 years, he has donated at least $50 million to third world causes, including $10 million for aid after the 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake. His donation surpassed that of any other sportsperson, most sports leagues, many worldwide corporations, and even some countries. The Brazilian Grand Prix in 2006 was the last race of Schumacher's career. He conceded the title to Fernando Alonso in a performance described as heroic, and one that sums up his career. He now leads Ferrari's Formula One team as a mentor and selector, and has no plans to stop earning money. His manager told the media his goal is to turn the retiring champion into an advertising emperor, as he keeps his existing personal sponsors and works on new super deals. His total fortune now reportedly surpassing $800 million. For a man who thrived on speed, Schumacher did, and still does, avoid the Formula One party circuit, shunning the celebrity spotlight. The family man now lives with his wife and children in Switzerland, in a castle he built for $50 million. The 650 square metre home has its own underground garage and petrol station, and a private beach on Lake Geneva. And he's in good company. His neighbours include rock star Phil Collins, ex-Bond Sir Roger Moore, singers David Bowie and Celine Dion, and former British race car race Sir Jackie Stewart. After years risking his life in the cockpit of 200-mile-per-hour racing cars, the still youthful driver can afford to put his feet up. It's been a dizzying trip to the top, and he might need more than a pit stop.